Alright, this damn friggin' story's getting more interesting by the day that I keep going. I've gone over a couple articles. I've picked two specific ones. This one that shows all kinds of pictures. The next one shows some other pictures. But this one in specifically, in my phone is. I've been out in that goddamn place yesterday. I went out to the Lexington where all this happened, and my phone's been freezing up now, literally. This ain't the first time I've had friggin' gone to a haunted place and my phone's been freezing up. And this damn screen has been doing distinctive grayish block. And as you can see, this damn thing's freezing up. I don't know what the hell's the matter with it. And it looks like I ain't gonna be... What do I got? I can't even push this off and on. Hopefully this don't go off. But I literally gotta shut off the phone and put it back on to get my stupid things to move. This is nuts. And yesterday I gotta go through another video that I did for the ride. And this just to show some places of interest. But this Joan actually lost her parents at a young age, at 9 years old, in a house fire, very suspicious house fire. The girl came out about telling someone later on she was molested. So this girl didn't have a great childhood. Would imaginally expect from a person with very bad depression. Now I'm coming up with my own thoughts and theories on the story, and it's just still you're gonna come. I mean, what I've found out and what I've thought happened was pretty much, you can say, the only things that could have happened, maybe, that I can see. Of course, there's a picture of her. I'm sure that's probably the year of 1960, the year before, the year she was missing. But people say that she was very, truly happy. She became a publisher and editor at a magazine or a book or something. She did accomplish things in life after, her tragedy life. She married this guy here, Martin Risch. Watch, my friggin' phone keeps tapping on this house button down here, the round one. I don't know why, but it's been doing that for the past month now. On and off. And then it'll tap, tap, tap. It's like my phone's freezing up for damn some reason. But this happened October 24th of course. There it goes, phone tapping itself. And this thing is driving me friggin' crazy. Like I say, the husband left for a trip. Now, I didn't put the husband as a suspect due to the fact that, you never know. I didn't put in a thought and theory of that. What I did put in, which I should put in, that this guy did leave. Who knows if he hired someone to kill his wife? It's very, it could be something of interest, but this guy had never been prosecuted. He died, raised his kids, and the people did finally buy this house for the historical land site. Now, I think this might be the one where it says what I found out too is the Baker resident had maybe something to do with this. But here's a picture of the kitchen. This was a telephone thing, holding the phone or whatever in the kitchen. As you can see, I think it was right there at the corner. There's the phone wall up top, the black thing. Now there was a trash can which is sitting right here. As you can see clearly, it's full of trash. Now, one skeptical thoughts and theories in this case, they believe that she tried to do a home abortion. Now, I have to look up, did they use coat hangers back then to do this? It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't, but that's one theory that was said, that this woman tried to do a home abortion. She maybe had a lover. Once again, here we go with skepticals of of this person having a lover, and she got knocked up, didn't want to have the baby, or he didn't want to have the baby, so they tried ripping it out here. But to me, with the full can of trash, I want to say she pulled that out to maybe empty it. Because this story is just so bizarre. Because like I say, she had a child upstairs in bed. The other one was across the street. And And then the other article I have, not this one, it says that there was blood stains upstairs. Light ones. Not a mess like this. So, that being said, I believe, goddamn friggin' phone doing this again. I tell you, man, I tell you. I think, this frickin' phone. I might have to go on another phone and do this. But, I don't believe this is the exact house. Maybe it is that the parents got burnt in, but you never know. Of course, that's a younger picture of her, and oh my God, I'm gonna break this goddamn phone if it keeps it up. And then the Times is very skeptical, meaning that someone had to have picked her up out of that house and drove off. Goddamn phone, I'm gonna frickin' punch it. And what I think happened in this house, very differently. Don't get me wrong, I am not ruling out a home abortion. It does kinda, but, oh man, how this all went down and happened, there's the trash can. Look at it, full. Now, if anybody was going to do a home abortion, why would they have a full trash can out to dump the baby in? And don't you think that would be a mess? Yes, there's paper towels. There's, I think, when she started bleeding, of what I think happened, yeah, the person who did it to her was trying to stop the bleeding so he can get her out of the damn house. What I think happened. But let's get through this first. They believed it was a suicide. But when they found no body throughout the house, he had to bring in the whole damn, police department. The cop that came to the scene. Even the state police got in. So here they are checking for clues and stuff. Now, here's another thing. The phone was dumped in the wastebasket. Now, who in their right mind is going to do an abortion and rip a frickin' phone off the wall? That's another, thing. The phone was literally ripped off the wall and thrown in the trash can. That's what I think is not a home abortion. I mean, but then again, it could be because, say so if Joan got scared because this person was doing this home abortion. Don't get me wrong, you got to keep your mind open. Say so she got scared, tried to call for help because she started bleeding profusely, and the person got mad because, of course, if that person didn't want the baby, ripped the phone out, ripped the friggin' thing out. But yet there was a phone book with the emergency call log open, and there was no numbers down. Now, back in the day of the 60s, I do not believe 991. Oh, man, 911 existed. So you literally had to have the police number and call the friggin', dispatch. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I'm thinking. Plus, there was beer in the trash, unknown, which I don't know if you can see that in there. And then there was a wine bottle that the husband and wife finished the night before. But that basket was friggin' full. Now, whether or not this person threw beer on the cut or wound, if they did in the home abortion, or told her to take some swigs for the pain, but you would want to use pure whiskey for that. I think this jerk, that might have been the husband. Oh man, this phone. This is what happened, and this has been happening since I came back from this site, mind you. Of course, the blood stains. Of course, the blood led from the kitchen to the car because that person dragged her out, and it just didn't make sense. Of course, it didn't make sense. Because of simple fact, there was a struggle to get to that phone, and whatever the case may be, someone was trying to call the, cops or the doctors, and someone didn't want that to happen. And what I think happened, this is one thought and theory, that she came home, someone was waiting in the house. Because get this, there was no car seen by the neighbor across the street, only Joan's car when she said she saw her carrying in the arms sticking out. And she thought it was David she was chasing and bringing him back into the house or the garage. So what was to be thought David being dragged into the garage by the mother? And, this incident and all this loss of blood and stuff like this, I mean, I don't know how anybody could inflict this by themselves. It's just and then it started from upstairs, I believe. Because there was blood, like I said, I'm going to go over another video with another article that was said that the blood stains were upstairs. And where there's more blood in the kitchen and not upstairs, it had to have started upstairs. You got to put two and two together. You can't have this much blood and then go upstairs to check on the kid or whatever she did. If she did, inflict it herself, you ain't gonna, there's no way in hell there wouldn't be less blood upstairs than downstairs. That's just ludicrous to even think. So whatever she did upstairs, which what I think happened, here's the index card. Emergency, oh no, this is the library card, I guess. Library cards were shown signed by her in the past month. Piece of shit. About books, in one book, supposedly Into the Thin Air, about a woman who left behind blood smears in a towel when she went missing. One was one of the books. I mean, don't get me wrong. She could have done that. Honestly, maybe she had with that tragic, childhood, maybe she did do all this. But what if, like I say, they wanted, now this is the thing. When I found, I gotta keep going. Oh, here's Route 128, supposedly what it looked like. And as you can see, the road construction. And like I said, Route 128 back in the day was not a major highway. It wasn't even thought of as a highway. It went in and through towns. And this highway over here is a highway, but it is not Route 128. Just you can see, there was places where she could be walking, sightings. And phone's driving me nuts. But did she run away in the sightings of her being on 128? But the times don't make no sense. 2:45 p.m. that afternoon, and supposedly she was at home between 2 and 2:45. All right? This blood smearing, this, whatever the hell happened in her house. And all of a sudden, 2:45 that afternoon, woman wearing similar clothing was along with a handkerchief, which they used to call a kerchief back then. Over her head, was walking north side of Parkway. The woman appeared to be wandering aimlessly, hunched over as if were cold, and she looked messy. Now, hold on a second. Fucking phone, man. Suspects. The milkman was there the day the mailman was there that day. And this goes on. This is the end of it, but says Martin continued to live in the same house, raised his children up till 1975. He never had declared his wife legally dead. Probably thought she had some mental illness, amnesia episode, and just forgot to return home. But, you know what? That's what makes me think, well, if he had something to do with it. But the case died in 2009. All the original investigators. It still remains unsolved, and it still remains open. But like I said, this other article I found, and I gotta bring it up and do it in another video, that they did say something about the husband of the Bakers and the wife owned some land. Now, whether or not they owned the land that their house was on, Joan's house, is the question. But you think owning a house is a house, you own the land. But whether or not they were renting, that didn't come up. But they were saying something specifically about the land and the husband. And if, like I said in my last couple videos, if they were getting a big substantial amount of money from the friggin' government or anybody that wanted to, whoever was putting that historical site up, and one person don't want to cooperate, back then, what better way to get rid of them? So what I think of, one of my thoughts and theories is Joan was home, brought her kid over to the Lillian, which is the daughter, the oldest child, over back to the Baker's house, came back, put David down for a nap. And like I said, she was in and out of the house that day. Come on. Like they said. But the two kids, Lillian and a friend of the Bakers, the kid of the Bakers were out back. They couldn't see the house, but they did see her going in and out. And all of a sudden, she must have been pulling out the trash to empty it, but heard something upstairs. Went upstairs to check, probably thought it was David waking up from his nap, because it was now 2 and the nap she said she'd put David down for 1 and he'd get up by 2. But due to all the, chaos that just occurred, the kid was found in his bed, crying. And the sister found him. So whoever was upstairs that snuck into the house, and I think could have been most rightfully dropped off, because there was a suspicious car right down the street from her old street, Sunnyside Street. And I'm going to go back out there because I was in my first video of this, I was in the wrong spot. Because like I said, that goddamn road is in 3 parts. And Google Maps comes up with one of them, and I put it in my second video. You'll see clearly a road that is non-existing no more, that leads to the site that now exists. Whoops, I didn't want that. Of where the house once stood. Now what I think, it could have been this guy that was trying to get this historical site settled. And if you get one person that don't want to cooperate, stood up in the room probably, and because these were businessmen now, they were probably only in this house to try and scare, not kill her, just scare her or whatnot. But it ended up in a bad situation, and they had no choice but to kill her. So this person comes with the knife upstairs, as she was doing all the things prior to this point. Look at my phone still doing this crap, pissing me off. But I'm gonna leave it here for now. But she got upstairs, heard the noise, thought it was David. Got spooked, screamed. The guy must have maybe had a knife, maybe slightly cut her or stabbed her in the gut. Just trying to scare her, but she probably did something that made him, did a quick reaction. So now she runs downstairs, where this leads to me to think that they saw her holding her stomach. Just don't get me wrong, I'm not ruling out the home abortion thing, but this could be another scenario is right. So she's running downstairs holding her gut. Got the blood all upstairs because, a quick cut. It was in the master bedroom, and she was probably trying to run to a window, scream for help. Went to the kid's bedroom, but this guy's chasing her all around. Ends up downstairs, grabs the book. Of course, like I said back then, I do not believe 911 existed. Correct me if I'm wrong. But tried to open up the book, but never put in the police department's number, because, they just had moved there. And she probably only lived there 2 years and didn't think she was going to need a number, right? So, whatever, grabs the phone. Probably had the phone in her hand, too, as she got the book. The person rips the phone out, throws it in the trash, and she probably started screaming, and boom, knocked her right out cold. Grabbed some paper towels, because if she was messing with the trash, she probably washed her hands real quick. And, back in the day, people all cleansy, cleany. You always see someone washing their hands. Look in the old movies. How people would just wash their hands real quick when something occurred in a movie. And, that ain't because of people, making up stuff in movies. That they try and, back in the day, put reality into movies. That's why killers watch movies, because they put reality in what killers have done, and they watch them and copycat them. So she washed her hands, put the paper towels down and whatnot, or grabbed some. And now they got knocked on the floor because of the commotion. Knocked right out, cold. The kid was probably still upstairs, probably had woken up, started crying. This person had to get her out quick. Maybe they saw the person across the street in the window. But this is the thing. Another car had drove up. That's what makes me believe that this could have been a thing for the land. So someone had to have been timed to get there at a certain point of time, so they can maybe just get her, grab her, get her out and talk to her, or threaten her, or just try and scare her. But it went wrong. The person must have stabbed her, cut her, And when she came, around, probably started screaming in the car, help, and they couldn't stand it. Now, these are not professional killers now. These are businessmen probably just trying to muscle in on somebody. It's, and not full-blooded killers, but maybe got an idea from somewhere to do this. And when she woke up and started screaming, maybe even kicking, they probably was at Route 28, pulled over, and threw her out of let her get out of the car. And then they said that they were seen in that area driving back and forth on Route 28. They were probably waiting for her to bleed or pass out. And that's what she did. And they got her back in the car and boom, disposed of body. And what better way to say, I was with my boss at lunch. No, you were with your boss trying to scare this woman and killed her and got her, and then you went to lunch. That's my thought. That's one thought in theory. But I want to go over another article that I found. I got to go back in now. I don't know if I got that damn piece where it said that the Bakers own the property of some sort. But that's one thought and theory that I have on that. And then I'm going to go in to see, and maybe if the Bakers did it and the husband, but I want to make sure I get that article up to show the proof. So until that next video, be safe on this fucking phone. Me. Take care, beware. You don't know what, this stuff, man, this case is getting insane. And this is similar, not identical, but very similar to Maura Murray's. Some things are just, wow. Here's you got a woman, present, witnesses, disappear. That's similar in that way. And for that to happen, it's like, wow. But I got some more stuff I gotta go over on this, and I gotta get out of here anyways, so. Because this case is damn friggin' bizarre. So, my phone's freezing again. Oh, man. To go see if I can fix this. Out.